reacts. Today, we're going to discuss why it's getting harder and harder for women to truly find love. Most men who identify as sigmas are merely deluding themselves into believing they possess certain traits when they do not. The same thing occurred when incels used to delude themselves into believing they were MGTOWs. They don't work non-stop, they don't score in the inch or inch range on personality tests, and they don't score highly on IQ tests. As more men understand female nature, whether through sigma and alpha male ideals or black pill chameleon content, the situation for women is only going to grow worse. Women are no longer able to successfully control information regarding the nature of women. It's going to get more difficult for women to find a great man out there, but for some reason, they don't seem to mind because many of them are substituting Instagram for the attention they want from a good man. They are adjusting to a world where men are leaving, but for the women who do want a relationship and a family, things are still growing very difficult. They simply lack the intelligence to predict the future. Making things difficult for women is the only true way to win right now. They rely on our attention to survive, and they utilize the promise of intimacy to get us to give it to them. If we render their bait ineffective, they'll essentially return to the bargaining table. But by that time, we won't, and the situation will be checkmate. I don't see how they could prevail. The only way to win is to trick your opponents into believing they have won, when, in fact, they have lost. Women have a blind spot where they never consider how a short-term victory would cost them a long-term loss. They don't perceive the war as a whole. They just see individual battles. So, why is it harder than ever for women to find love in this world where men are starting to go their own way because of this? Well, that's pretty simple, isn't it? It's because women mistreat and manipulate men. So, let's speak about the various ways that women mistreat guys. I frequently discuss these topics and have come to the intriguing conclusion that almost all relationships between women and men involve emotional manipulation, if not outright abuse. And the main ways that weak men in society, men who always want to appease women, men who are psychologically subservient and want the favor of women, get other people to do what they want them to do are, for the most part, doing it through blackmail and emotional manipulation. Strong, independent, and self-reliant men do not engage with other strong, independent, and self-reliant men in this manner. It will take someone a long time to develop into a strong, independent, and self-reliant man, so please don't take offense at the comment. It's quite doubtful that he will develop in that manner from the time he is a young adult until early adulthood, and he is not going to be born that way either. Some people do, though. People become caught up in their society, culture, and media because of the way our society and culture are structured. Their place in that group primarily dictates where they are in life. This explains why individuals cling to their views so tenaciously. Now, this is a very important point because when it comes to a man's health, well-being, and strength, if any one thing is out of place, it can shut down the entire system. As a result, a man may be doing 100 things right in his life, taking care of his diet, his exercise routine, his financial future, his habits, and his social life, but still have a serious issue in one area. This can be an affair with a woman, an affair with his ex-wife, an abusive coworker, or an abusive acquaintance. Many men will find it difficult to isolate that one issue and prevent it from having an impact on a more extensive domain if they are compelled to cope with it, or if they feel powerless to change it. In actuality, I believe it closely resembles a vast electrical system. You are examining every action it takes. You realize that if there is even a little electrical short somewhere along the wire, the entire system will shut down as it powers a city. One short or one fuse or failure, and you're done. That is why I'm here to tell you that a guy doesn't engage with the world or with other men in the same manner that a woman or a feminine man does. Instead, men interact with the world and with other men in different ways. They don't engage in emotional manipulation, playing the victim card to gain sympathy, or deceiving others. Their approach is a lot more straightforward and to the point. I won't conduct business with you if you don't treat me with openness, justice, and honesty. Although I can't make someone do anything correctly, I can state that I won't interact with you in that way. A good parent wouldn't defraud his child. He simply wouldn't be acting in that way. So when a good man interacts with another good man, he first acknowledges that the other man has expectations and boundaries regarding how he should treat him. If you don't comply with those, he won't deal with you and won't be able to stop you from acting in that way. However, he has the option of avoiding dealing with you entirely. This is known as the decent men's manner of conduct, the conduct of a free man. When I say that they are free men, I'm not being ironic. If there is an honest exchange of value, they will only cooperate. It's only a free market if they can trade value, such as you have a pencil or pen, and I have $1 if they both chose to engage in commercial interactions. That's how free people connect, and you can see how it helps both of them since one of them has a ton of pens and the other needs one, but has some extra money. This is how free men communicate, and the reason they do it this way is that if there is even a small short anywhere down the line, it will cause the entire system to collapse, no matter how big, powerful, or capable it is. So, guys, you must understand that we've been conditioned to hold the door open for women, to be chivalrous, to be courteous, and to be kind and gentle. You have to unlearn your conditioning. By nature, women don't desire such respect. The soul of a woman is programmed to respond to stereotypically aggressive, masculine, arrogant, testosterone-fueled men, whatever society may want to portray now and tomorrow. You should also avoid asking married folks for guidance. People who are married lead quite different lives. They aren't necessarily awful people. They just have very different lives. Married folks and single people have various drives and objectives. Otherwise, a married man would tell you something different since he has a wife. For married guys, this situation changes because they're in a long-term commitment. They have their physical and emotional needs taken care of, so they behave differently. And after they have babies, things change even more. And their only focus is to provide for, nourish, and nurture their babies, and everything else comes secondary. They don't have time for any sort of games. We've been taught that being forceful, approaching the lady, and being bluntly forthright are all signs of callousness and arrogance in men. Guess what? I have attracted more ladies this way than by attempting to be their friend or in any other way. And being more arrogant boosted my confidence and made me happier. In college, I remember I had better grades, better social life, and just an overall better time after I ditched my old simping self in the gutter and worked on myself to become masculine with typically masculine traits. I had girls who wanted to be with me, and I had good friends who wanted to hang out with me. It appears as though the strongest and healthiest guys are being punished for exactly that sort of conduct. You're sabotaging your best efforts and setting a poor example for others from a young age. But even through all of this, and even with women who collaborate with our society and system to groom guys according to how they would like guys to be, trust me, women will still not be happy. It's just not in their nature. So, that's what I have to say about why it's harder than ever for women to find love and happiness. For more content, please like the video and subscribe. Also, don't forget to comment in the sections to keep the discussion going.